to my third year and sit in front of you. Such a blessing. I just want to really thank God for just giving me this opportunity just to be here. I wouldn't have the things I have if it wasn't for him. So I always want to, when I get an opportunity to sit in front of people, man, I always want to give thanks to God for everything that I have. Thanks to my family, Coach Sweeney, Board of Trustees, well as our AD, President Clements, and just really everybody in this building. It's the people that make the place, and this place has been really special to me, and it's been one of the best, going into my third year here, and it's been some of the best years of my coaching career. So I'm truly thankful for that. Man, I'm just truly excited, to be here. Excited for what the season is, what that looks like, what the future ahead, with the players that we have that are coming back, just excited, man. Anytime I get an opportunity to sit in front of people to talk about our program, it's an opportunity for me to really just, talk about how great this place is and, why you should come to Clemson. And, I had wrote some things down, some notes. First of all, it's a place that you're going to be held accountable. If you're a high school, athlete and you're looking for a place you want accountability, whereas, academics are important, and you're going to graduate, man, this is the place for you. As well as you get developed and you have an opportunity to play at the next level. Coach Sweeney is one of the current head coaches that has the most draft picks, okay? We have our PAW Journey, which I think really stands out more than anybody in the country, that equips our guys with tools to life. With everything that's going on with NIL and, all the different dynamics of college football, PAW Journey is just, it's amazing in itself. And, Jeff Davis and their staff do a great job there. And then our culture is really established, and it's about family. Are we perfect? No, we're not perfect, but we're building the right stuff. And so, anytime I get an opportunity to recruit and get that message out, I'm going to do so.
Coach, you mentioned PAW Journey, and every time you get in front of the microphone, you talk about developing the whole player, the person, the career. What do you think PAW Journey offers, and some of the trips and the experiences that your guys have gotten from it?
Oh, you're talking about the micro internships. I mean, kids are having an opportunity to travel the world through PAW Journey, and that's just one aspect of it. PAW Journey just teaches our players how to be leaders, how to be good men, how to be good citizens. In today's world with NIL, they teach them about financial literacy, and so those things are really important. And so even though it's its own, space, but it really helps our team in so many different ways, as well as even just establishing leadership in our locker room. And so it's been truly a blessing, and I think, that really separates us from everybody. It's the PAW Journey. Everybody's got facilities and, and nice stadiums and stuff like that, but everybody don't have PAW Journey. And there's nothing like it in the country. And so it's really special to me. It's one of, I think, the biggest recruiting tools that we have that's a part of our football program.
How do you think from last year with a tough start to a really great ending, the Gator Bowl, and how you guys kind of built as the season went on? How do you roll that into next year, or have you seen the confidence build coming through the spring and into this season?
Absolutely. We have a standard of winning around here, and last year, man, was a rough start. But we showed what this team is really about. How we finished, man. We came together. There was a lot of outside noise. When you've been at the top of the mountain, like this program has been for the last 15 years since head coach Sweeney has been a head coach here, there's a lot of high expectation and standard around here. And so didn't start out so well, but we rallied together as a team, as a staff, and man, we just remained inside out. Had to ignore a lot of outside noise. Came together, man, and we finished really strong. Came into the spring. I thought our team had a really good spring. Just rallied together, continued to working hard, and everything starts in the weight room. And guys have been working really hard and being present and being intentional about getting better. And so I feel really confident, but we finished the right way, and we can keep that momentum going into the season.
I feel like this is a breakout year for DeMonte.
K-Part has been really doing everything he needs to do. He had a really good spring, stayed healthy, and it's just so amazing last year. It was just one of the first years he was, truly healthy and had an opportunity to play. I've always talked to my guys about just taking advantage of the amount of plays you do have. With Brazee being here, Tyler Davis, Ruka Rororo, who was here, he didn't really see the field a lot, since he's been in the last 3 years. And so, man, but he had an opportunity to play 10, 12, 15 snaps a game, and he really stood out during those snaps. And so he'll have an opportunity to be the guy this year and go out on the field. So I'm really confident in what he's going to be able to do moving forward, and looking forward to it. The proof will be on the tape, but I would say that he's been working extremely hard and doing the things he needs to do in order to be dominant at his position. I think just kind of defensively schematically what we do, we run a multiple number of different fronts, and that's the unique thing about choosing Clemson. If you're a high school kid, man, Peter's going to line up across the line of scrimmage, and we cross-train all our defensive line to be able to play across the line. And so with Peter, and a lot of our guys can play inside and outside, and so you can use them in multiple different ways. And anytime you got a player like Peter Woods, who has the tools to be really, really good, you want to have a lot of versatility, and a lot of guys do. But Peter obviously helps us outside and inside, and so you'll see him line up in a number of different places as well of all of our defensive linemen. Because I want athletic D linemen that can play across the line of scrimmage, and so that's how we'll be able to utilize him, and so that helps us anytime you can play multiple positions.
What's going to be that percentage? What's going to be that percentage of Peter playing inside, outside?
I really don't know. I think that's just going to be based upon opponent week to week. And so he's been, trained and prepared for that throughout the spring. And so, I can't really just foresee what percentages of where he's going to be most of the time or not. That's going to be a kind of week-to-week thing, day-to-day. But he's not the only one. Peyton Page can play outside and in, as well as Trey Williams, and a lot of other defensive linemen that are very athletic, can play inside and outside. And so schematically, we've just kind of created where they can move across the line of scrimmage.
At 19, he kind of goes from pup to chief of the group, right? Have you talked to him about how the spotlight's going to get a little bit bigger, a little bit brighter, just how to handle the expectation of leading on and off the field even at just 19 years old?
Oh, you talking about Peter? Oh, yeah. It's just that Peter just got to be himself, and just continue to just get better, each and every day, 1% better. And that's what I always challenge my guys to do. And, he just, he's been great. He's a leader on and off the field. Obviously he's not perfect. There's areas of his game that needs to get better. And there's other, ways in his leadership that needs to improve. But he's doing those things. He's been working really, really hard this offseason. And, if he could just go beat Peter Woods, that he's capable of being with the tools and things that he has that he brings to the table, he'll be just fine.
When you sat down, you said living the dream, and that's, you hear it every day, but when you say it, you feel it, it has weight to it. Mm-hmm. What goes into making sure that the people around you, the players you're coaching, feel that they too can be and are hopefully living the dream?
I think it's all about your attitude and your approach to to your job. One of my coaching philosophy is I just try to make goals clear, roll my sleeves up, and do whatever it takes people to win. And so when I come in this building every day, it's my job to let my energy and my effort and my attitude be contagious, not only to our players but everybody in this building, to our staff as well. And so that's always been my goal, and and really help people to recognize that this is not an obligation, but just it's an opportunity. For you to be here, because I know that there are thousands of coaches that would love to be sitting in this chair right now in front of 15 cameras and working here in this building to be a part of this program. And so I'm truly grateful for it. I don't take it for granted. And so for me, regardless of what's going on outside the building, because life happens to us all, it's that I'm excited to be here, and my goal is just to help Coach Sweeney, help this program, help our coaches, help everybody in every department just win and make this place a better, better place, and that's always kind of been my mindset.
Was there a moment this spring where you felt really proud to be a part of this program?
I've felt proud to be a part of this program in the last 20 years since I've been going. I'm going to my third year here, and just really proud of our guys, our team, just the kind of way they've come together off the field. I think that's one of the emphasis that I placed just in our defensive line, on our defense, across the team, just spreading the news about get to know each other outside of the building. get to know who you're lining up next to, because it becomes more important to you when you know that you're lining up, next to your brother, not just your teammate. And so in order to establish, great teams and great cultures, guys have to be intentional about getting to know one another. And I think our team has done it this year, just spending time outside of the building, kind of knowing each other's backgrounds. And so it becomes more important to you. That's what made us great when I was at the Steelers and all the other great defenses and teams I've been a part of. Man, we were truly family out the field. And so for me, I've always been proud of our guys. Just kind of are they perfect? Absolutely not. But we have a lot of great kids on our team. So just truly, proud of our program, proud of this team. Proud of Coach Sweeney, love him to death. Just, being a Clemson alumni and just kind of the things he have implemented and put in this program and put us really on the map, just with the success he's had and how he allows us as coaches to be great husbands, be great family men, and give us time to not only just be great in the building, but also be great in life. And so that's hard to find, in the game of football, especially in college athletics.
How's Vic Burley doing health-wise?
Vic is doing well. He'll ready to rock and roll. Expecting great things out of him. And as you look at our defensive line, you're talking about Vic. You guys haven't really seen him, and he is a big athletic dude. And so just facing a little bit of adversity with some injuries. But man, he's doing really well. Man, excited to see what he's going to do, as well as the Fowling Green, who you guys haven't seen play. Really athletic. Defensive line is coming to his own way. Really built his confidence up this spring, and so I'm feeling really excited. And so we always talk about the standard. The standard is my job as a coach to get the best out of Vic Burley, the Fowling Greens, and everybody in my room. That's on me, because I'm a reflection of my position.
We've heard that Vic is your cousin. So how is he connected? Like, how many generations? And what is it like coaching him on the field?
Yeah, we're related. It might be a third or fourth cousin, but there's a relation there. And so for me, when he steps into that meeting room, he is a defensive lineman, and the rules apply to him as they do with everyone else. And so, man, the standard is a standard, and I'm gonna be demanding, not demeaning, to our players, regardless of whatever kind of relationship I may have. I got a lot of relationships with a lot of my. It's just such a small world, and so many people. And then when I've had the career I've had, and kind of met the people I've met over the years through the NFL and through high school, and especially being from Georgia, I'm always going to know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. And so, but for him, it hasn't been an issue for me, and I challenge him every day, just like I challenge everybody else. So.
You've been around this a long time.
Yeah.
You've got an opener like you guys have this year.
Yeah.
Does that change anything when you get to fall camp and you're getting ready for the season ahead? When you talk to your guys to make sure they're ready for game one. Obviously last year, game one didn't go very well.
Right.
You got Georgia State.
Right. We're playing, a team that's a powerhouse. I mean, they've got had a lot of success, over the last, 3 to 5 years, 2 national championships. They got great coach staff, they got great players, and so it's going to be a huge challenge for us, game one. And so, man, that doesn't start in training camp. That starts in the off season. It started in January, as soon as the season was over with. You start preparing daily, and I've always challenged my guys to, create, daily habits and make daily decisions that your future self will thank you for. And so, that goes on to the football field, not just in life, but on the football field as well. It's just being prepared, for game one. And so game one happens to be, one of the top programs in the country, and so it's going to be a challenge for us, and we've got to come together and got to work really hard and really just don't beat ourselves and just go out and be the best version of ourselves. And that's going to be week 2, week 3, week 4, and throughout the entire season. And so it's always going to be a challenge in college football, man. Any given Saturday or Friday or whatever day we play, they're going to be, the dynamic has changed. The landscape has changed with the transfer portal. Everybody's got dudes nowadays, and so, man, when you don't handle your business and you make mistakes, you can lose football games. And so it's our goal just to rally together and not beat ourselves.
You mentioned NIL as the players' village, pickleball,
Yeah.
mini golf.
Yeah.
What do you think most of the players considering? I know with PAW Journey and the football program is a much bigger factor coming
Well, let's just be very clear about, the facilities and the bowling and the pickleball. We have one of the top facilities in the world, but with the landscape of NIL and things, those things have kind of changed the importance of how important that really is in recruiting. I mean, everybody reads the papers and you see what's going on in college athletics, and I think that, there's a lot of great facilities in the country. But are those facilities really determining people's decision to go to school? Probably not, and there's a very few percentage of high school athletes that are making decisions based upon that, and that's where we're at right now. But yeah, we got a lot of great pickleball and putt-putt golf, and we have a bowling alley, we got golf simulators, we got a barber shop, we got everything you want. It's just like a mini Six Flags here. But at the end of the day, I mean, I enjoy everything that's here. I think it's awesome. But, in terms of, high school athletes, do they love it? Yeah, they love it, But at the end of the day, it's, is that going to determine their decision? Yeah and no, So that's kind of my opinion.
To follow up on NIL stuff, obviously Clemson has a pretty publicly different strategy than a lot of programs with that. How important is it to you and to the program to kind of uphold that? And has it made recruiting tougher, easier, kind of in between?
No, for me, I mean, recruiting, I don't really consider recruiting. It's about really building relationships. NIL is present, man, it's really helped a lot of people, and I'm all for it, And my biggest, kind of take on NIL for our players, and I want them to take advantage of what's present for them to have, is just having financial responsibility with the money they have. I think a lot of people would agree with me about that. It's just that, hey, okay, fine, we can pay the players, but let's make sure we're equipping them with financial literacy and teaching them how to manage their money, because we're paying 17, 18, and 19-year-old a lot of money. And so I think that's really important. In terms of NIL, I mean, it is what it is. I don't think we're not losing people we're going to get who we're going to get. And so, there are people that are looking for, substance. They're looking for that wholesome approach, and if they are, they'll end up being here. And there's a lot of great athletes, a lot of talent in the country that we can, recruit, build relationships with that'll want to be here. We're not an anti-NIL university like we have NIL here, but we still have to promote graduation, being equipped with tools for life, having a great college experience. Those things are still going to be the foundation of our program. We're not going to let NIL be the number one thing, the reason why you want to come to Clemson. I want you to choose Clemson because you love our facility, you love PAW Journey, you love our game day experience, you love our fans, you love the fact that you can have a lifelong relationship with people for the rest of your life. And then, yes, you'll have an opportunity to take advantage of the NIL space. And so we do have NIL, but that's not something we use we're not going to promote it and be the number one thing to get players to come in. We really believe in relationships, and that's how Coach Sweeney has built this culture. It's built upon relationships.
What can someone like Demonte Capehart do to continue to build off of what was a strong finish to last year?
He just needs to continue just to take care of his body, train hard, and just really be the best version of himself on and off the field. That's what he needs to do. And just be Demonte. He's 6'5", 320, and man, he's always had the tools, but just kind of had a little bit of adversity with some injuries, and but he's always been great. And he showed up last year, built his confidence back up. I think he lacked a little bit of confidence, the first 2 years, man. When you've experienced a lot of adversity and you had a lot of injuries and you're not being able to be on the field, that kills your confidence. And so he's built his confidence back up. So I'm really excited to see what he can do, and I think he's going to have a really good season.
Other than just staying healthy,
Yep.
what's the next step for him to develop?
That's it. Just need to stay healthy. For the few plays, I mean, he came in the spring and had 6 one-on-ones and won every single one of them in a row. And so just getting him healthy on the field, building his confidence back up, just like I talked about Demonte Capehart. Anytime you've experienced a lot of adversity, especially with injuries, not being able to be on the field, that messes with your confidence. And so, man, he's building his confidence back up. Man, I think Pat has done a really good job in the training room, and our strength lab with Coach Basson and Dennis Love and all those guys in the weight room have done a really good job of just getting his strength back, building his confidence back up. And so just really excited to see what he's going to do. But the biggest thing for him is just just staying healthy. And if you can keep him healthy, he can be a force to be reckoned with.
When it comes to Peter Woods, having a player that young learn so many different techniques and positions on the defensive line, is that tough on him, or is he just that special?
Well, Peter, this is not first. I mean, Peter did that, when he was at Thompson High School in Alabama, and so it's not his first time playing outside, and so it's a thing that's very natural for him to be out on the edge because it's something that he's done before, and so he's got all the tools. You see it. You see that he's squatted 700 pounds, already. I laughed. I was like, man, it took me about 3.5 years to get to 760. So he's gonna kill probably every record in the weight room, but he just got to go play, and he can do it. And we haven't seen his best football yet, and so he got some miles to go before we crown him as being the great. But he definitely has the tools to be great.
I guess how much of him playing more on the edge is taking advantage of a certain skill set he has, or is opening up more reps for those defensive tackles, having the depth that you have there?
I think it's just really just trying to get the best combination of our best players on the field. He happens to be one of them, one of the many that we have in our room. And so, obviously when one of the, top D tackles coming out, there's a lot of expectation, a lot of pressure, on him coming out of high school. But for me, man, it's just like, hey, just stay healthy and just go be the best version of yourself. And he can play outside and in, but it's about really putting the best combination of players, on all three downs on the field. And so, we have him, we have T.J. Parker, we have A.J. Hoffler, we got, Jaheim Lawson. I mean, we have a lot of guys at the defensive end position. We got depth there. We have depth at D-tackle. And so anytime you got a lot of competition in the room, you got a really good defensive line, and that's what we have right now. Everybody stays healthy. We got depth, and you can win a lot of football games.
I think Peter Woods described the D2 as like a candy shop with different flavors, different skill sets. Just what makes that group so versatile? There's so many different techniques that can help one.
What makes the group so versatile is you got to have dudes, and that's what make great coaches. You got to have great players, and so I have a lot of great players in that room, and those guys are a close-knit group. They all very versatile. They all have a different skill set, and they're very close in the room. And so I'm truly excited to see what they're going to do. But at the end of the day, man, we're in the off season. We haven't played a game. We haven't started camp. And so they're all great right now, but they still got to put their hand in the dirt and go play some football. And so, there's always going to be a lot of, preseason hype, especially here. We've always had a great defensive line, but for me, it's really about, what you do when you put your hand in the dirt, and people are going to be watching, and the eye in the sky does not lie.
How big of a year is this going to be for Peyton Page? I mean, no COVID year. This is it for him.
Yeah.
What does he have to prove?
I think Peyton has done a really good job. He's a guy that came here that was almost 400 pounds, and now he's about 305 pounds. He looks great, and he has really, become the leader in the defensive tackle room. I'm really, really very proud of him with what he's done. He's matured a lot, and he's had a really, really great offseason, had a really good spring, and his leadership has really shown up. And so, man, he is really, really focused, and I'm expecting him to have a really, really great year. I know we talk a lot about Peter Woods, but Peyton Page is really just as athletic and as explosive as Peter, and he has a lot of versatility himself. And so, it is his last year. I'm truly excited about what he's going to do, and I'm looking forward to watching him play. And I think he's going to do some great things this year. But it started just with his conditioning, with his nutrition, with his focus, with his leadership, with him being intentional, just bringing the guys together. And so, man, I'm really proud of him and excited to watch him play this year.
Coach, you added Chris Rumph, obviously, last December.
Uh-huh.
A lot of now experience on that defensive line, coach-wise.
Right.
But then, you look out at camp and you see Whammy,
Yep.
who's got all the experience in the
Yep.
world. You look out there and you see John Scott, who was with the Lions last year, with Penn State before that. Do you think any other school can kind of claim
Absolutely not.
that kind of talent on the coaching staff? And now those guys can coach.
Absolutely. Just truly excited. You mentioned Rump, you mentioned John Scott, you mentioned Coach Lorenzo Ward, a.k.a. Whammy, and just having that amount of experience, it's just, I don't know if anybody can compare to that. Just having that much experience from a coaching perspective, guys who, play the game, at a high level in college, and in pro, as well as coach on all those levels, and had a lot of success. And so, man, that's huge for me. It's huge for our players. It's huge in recruiting. because there ain't gonna be another better place in the country to get developed at, with what we have, and now also to mention Daquan Bowers, Corey Crawford, whom both have pro experience, who both play here at Clemson, as well as Daniel Boyd, who's been doing a phenomenal job, and so we got a lot of a lot of great teachers, a lot of great coaches around our defensive linemen.
So how does that look? You're still the voice. Chris is still the voice.
Yeah.
But how does that look? How do those other guys fit in?
With the changes, with the rule changes, and having allowed those guys to be on the field, they're all going to be working with every position. We meet together as a D-line, even though I know Coach Rump is the defensive end coach. I'm a D tackles, but we'll all be working together. And so all of those guys will be working with every guy on the defensive line, and so I think that it really helps. Us from just a teaching and coaching perspective, really at practice and having more eyes, not only just having eyes, but guys that actually have a voice on the field. So it's going to be really huge for us.
How does the transition from Caden's story? I know for Peter it was kind of seamless. Has it been similar with Caden, or has it been more of a learning curve for him?
No, Caden actually has played defensive end in high school as well. Both of those guys played defensive end in high school, and so it's been an easy transition. Caden Storr is another guy that's been doing really a lot of great things off the field. He's been training really, really hard. Looking forward to watching him have an opportunity to get on the field, and he's been doing everything to earn it. And so I'm excited, man. He's really athletic. He's really done a good job of just kind of changing his body. And man, he's always been a guy that's been explosive, has a tool. Now he's just got to go play.
I know you're talking about Peyton Page losing a lot of weight. I know you came yourself trying to lose a bunch of weight. Where do you sit right now?
I've lost about close to 90 pounds. And, for me, I'm just trying to be the example, for my players, and just really be an example for the things that I'm demanding my players. I need to do it myself. And, no, I'm not going to be in, playing shape to play college football, but, my daily habits and daily decisions need to be example to my guys. And so I think that's what leadership is about, just being a servant and being an example for the players.
One more question for Coach. Talk about NIL, the financial literacy piece. How much
Absolutely.
having been a pro and a coach and a player kind of instills that in you? You kind of experience with that.
I think, every day in my meeting, I'm always going to start with food for thought. I'm always going to, talk about, life. I'm always going to talk with accountability. I tell my guys, they hear this quote and they say, man, if you hang out with chickens, you're going to cluck. If you hang with eagles, you'll fly. And so, every day is about accountability. It's about food for thought. It's about academics. And it's also about just making great decisions. And you have to talk to your players about managing their money. Once again, college athletics has changed, and guys had opportunity to make a lot of money, but you want them to be responsible, because if they can be responsible and save their money, then you got about 98.5% of guys who are not going to play in the pros. But now, if you save your money and you manage it well, you can be set for life. Imagine leaving college and you had a nest egg of $500,000 to $1 million sitting there waiting on you. Those of you who have been a college student before, you leave college and you got that waiting on you, man. You're sitting pretty good. And so, I think that's a really huge dynamic. I think we do a really good job of doing that, but also as a coach, I have to reiterate that message.